In this video, you will catch a glimpse into the day in the life of my 4-year-old golden retriever, Ellie. To start off the day, she normally wakes up around 6 a.m. She will either jump out of the bed and see if anyone else is awake, or she will snuggle with you until you wake up. If no one is up yet, she will come right next to the bed and bark consistently until you get out of bed and feed her. There is nothing that Ellie loves more than food. She loves to lick the spoon after you've put food in her bowl. You can tell how much she loves the food because she does a little spinning dance move. Here's a glimpse of the dance move. She usually spins about 3 times, but can be pretty camera shy. After she's done her dance, she's practically salivating all over the floor, but we make sure that she sits and waits for the food to be put down on the ground. Immediately after she's done eating, she sprints to the sliding door and paws it until someone lets her outside. Ever since she was a puppy, I trained her to know that going outside into the woods was the place to go to the bathroom, not inside the house, or the lawn where Dad might go over it with the lawnmower. She always just sniffs around in the leaves until she spots something. It could be literally anything, and her ears perk up, and she stands really still, but then takes off. She's gotten really close to catching some deer sometimes.
Wonder dog, there she is.
When she does come back, it's usually because we are yelling, "Wonder dog," or we call for her while banging on the lid of the treat jar. She runs all the way up to the house and most of the time goes right to her spot on the couch. In our basement is the head office for a nonprofit organization called Cure HHT. My mother is the executive director of this nonprofit, and several employees come to work in our house to support their cause. Ellie is considered the goodwill ambassador for the office and the staff at HHT. She gives love and support to each and every one of them. She's also never afraid to beg for food from them, obviously, and she'll put her head on their lap and keep it there, sometimes for minutes, hoping they'll give her food. She's never afraid to jump on their chairs and paw them just because she wants more attention. When it's clear she isn't getting more attention, she goes outside and plays with the neighbors' dogs in the leaves. They like to run off together and wreak havoc in the neighborhood. Again, we have to call her back, and she usually comes barreling up to the house. Around 5 o'clock, Ellie goes for a walk, either with it's just me or with a family friend and their 2 Bernese Mountain Dogs, aka Ellie's only dog friends. Our walks are dependent on which season it is. In the summer, we take her to trails that have a river so that she can swim. Ellie loves to swim, and it's the greatest workout for her. She loves to stick her head under the water and look for sticks and rocks. She blows bubbles while doing it. Sometimes she even puts her whole head under the water and pulls out the sticks and rocks. In the winter, we just take her on long trails or to the old cornfield at the local high school so we can play fetch. One of Ellie's favorite activities is playing with the chucket. We have to come up with two tennis ball techniques so that when she's coming back with it, we distract her with another one to give her the first one back without prying it from her jaws of death. It isn't a perfect technique because sometimes she likes to take it away and hold the tennis ball between her two paws, lay on her back, and roll around with it. Or she gets too tired and lays there on the ground panting and protects the ball between her two paws. We like to think that this is Ellie's way of telling us that she is done playing fetch and wants to go home. By the time we get home, it's dinner time, and of course, Ellie can't focus on anything else but eating. We like to feed her before we eat dinner so that she isn't begging for food at the table, which she just does anyway. Her most recent begging experience was at its worst at Thanksgiving dinner. For holiday dinners or family gatherings, we usually give Ellie a big bone to distract her from us eating the meal. Yet this time, the bone during dinner technique didn't work out so well. While we were eating Thanksgiving dinner, she was putting her head in everyone's laps and begging for food. I'm pretty sure she tried every single dish at Thanksgiving dinner. And of course, our family couldn't resist, so they would just egg her on. However, she did disappear for about 5 minutes, and it wasn't until after dinner when we were getting everything ready for dessert that we noticed more than 3/4 of one of the desserts had been gone. And it appeared that Ellie had really gone after this pie. Now, this was a special circumstance, but it's not too far from what happens almost every night in terms of the begging at the dinner table and running around outside after dinner chasing more deer. She also loves to sit in her spot while my family and I watch TV. My mother and I probably watch too much TV, but Ellie always sits and watches with us. The only person that Ellie will go immediately upstairs with to go to bed is my mother. If my mother isn't going to bed yet, Ellie won't go upstairs with anyone else. But once it's decided that we're all going to bed, she will run upstairs with us and jump on one of our beds and lay down right at your feet. She doesn't just stay in one spot. She sprawls out and lays on her back with all 4 limbs in the air, taking up as much room as possible. She sometimes takes up so much room that you have to physically pick her up and move her so that your legs aren't hanging off the bed. There are several times when I wake up in the middle of the night to a loud and snoring Ellie and being right on the edge of the bed, almost about to fall off. Normally, she stays on the bed the whole night, but during the summer months, she likes to get up and go sleep on the bathroom tile where it's nice and cool. You can almost guarantee a nice Ellie snuggle in the morning, but there are definitely those times where she's hungry and she's not afraid to let you know. Now that you've seen a day in the life of my girl Ellie, hopefully it has become clear why I decided to dedicate this entire blog to her. All of the unique and silly things she does directly correlates to her big personality. Well, that's all, folks. I hope you enjoyed the long-awaited day in the life of Ellie.
Come on, Wonder Dog. Come on. Oh.